So before I open up today, I figured I'd do a shop tour video. I haven't done one in 2 years apparently, so I figured it's high time to do another. Shop's changed a bit since then, so lots of stuff in and out so far. Anyway, so yeah, we'll just scan around for you. This is the foyer or the entrance. It's a little jammed right now. It's kind of the dropping place for fresh stock and such. Yeah. Anyway, this battery rack here in the aisle usually goes outside when I'm open, so there is actually an aisle to get in, believe it or not. And we've got saws, saw blades, got lots of ice saws and crosscut saws or two-man saws, blades, etc. Got actually quite a few of the round blades right now. We've got a whole bunch of them. Some back there as well. Accumulating them like crazy, it seems. And still got a few doors. Got a really nice 1800s door there in the back there. But I got stuff piled up against it. I really need an annex. Hopefully I don't have to make the office an annex. Hope to get it rented out. But we'll see. Got some duck decoys I got to put away, clean up and put away. And we'll go into the main store right here. And just around the corner, got lots of paintings and such. And pictures, etc., prints, sort of stuff. Lots of stuff. The shop's not totally organized and such. I still got a few random things sitting around, like the coffee mill sitting behind my Timex case there. But anyway, it's not perfect by any stretch, but it is what it is. So let you take a look around. Got lots of stuff everywhere. Stuff comes in faster than it goes out. But yeah. And this is the architectural area. Architectural hardware, bits, pieces. We've got a great Alka-Seltzer display here as well. This one's done by Walt Otto, who was a pinup artist actually. So yeah, so it's a little more special than the average one. Got some hand tinted photos. I don't know, that one's a McCaskill, I think. Is it? Yes, McCaskill. So anyway, both of them are McCaskills. From Nova Scotia, I think, or East Coast anyway. So yeah, we've got lots of stuff. This box has got a few globes in it. But yeah. So anyway, so yeah, there's lots of globes and such. But lots of light fixtures and industrial bits and pieces. Got some commercial industrial fixtures down here. Some components and parts and such. I had a lot of light parts saved up, more of the nondescript internal components and such, but they got left at my old property when I moved a couple years back. Just not enough time to move them. Anyway, lots of shades and the like. I recently saw some of these on that Antique Hunter, I think. No, not Antique Hunter. Salvage Hunter. Mr. What was his name? I've forgotten now. Oh, shoot. Anyway, they're on his website out in England, and they were think 125 euros a piece with fixtures. They were made into hanging fixtures. I think I'm selling mine for 15 bucks or 20 bucks. Yeah, 20 bucks. Got 3 different sizes there. These opaline shades. Anyway, yeah, got stuff up here. And lots of stuff on the walls, of course. So hopefully I'm not moving too fast for you. You can hit pause if you like, of course, if you need to see something specific. Oh, there's a piece I wanted to get rid of. Actually, this was I thought was old, but isn't. It's actually modern. So getting rid of it. Anyway, yeah. And lots of stuff. Cool stuff. We got horse bits, such here. Some bells. And yeah, some frying pans. Some other architectural bits and pieces. Sewing machine parts and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I got some architectural salvage, some spindles down here from a Victorian porch, some pine spindles, staircase spindles, and got these just cleaned up and finally put together. I'm looking for a socket for one at the moment that I'm trying to find. Maybe I have one of my own. I'll have to check my parts there. I don't think so though. Anyway, yeah, I'm just muttering to myself, guys. Lots of shades, torchère shades, and these are all torchère shades here, a different style. It's a hanging bowl there. Some more hanging 3-chain shades. These are large ones. I avoid picking up the small ones, but I do pick up the large ones, although I have way too many right now. A few others, center stem shades, these ones. So yeah, this is a Art Deco fixture from a theater in Winnipeg. I had a pair of them, but one of them got stolen at one of my other locations, unfortunately, along with the glass. Glass went missing, I think. There was red glass I had cut for it. Anyway, whatever. Some thief out there got himself a fixture. Lots of bridge lamps, of course, light fixtures. Like I said, stuff's piling up a little too much. I need to get kind of a bulk sale going, I suppose, to somebody. But lots of hardware and stuff. Ore locks. I'm not sure why I'm accumulating ore locks, but I am. Lots of electrical bits and pieces here. We've got lots of register grates. And hardware galore. Just keep accumulating that stuff. So yeah, this is I usually take some of these to shows and such. As they are, they pack up nice and easy in milk crates. So if you, there's 4 of these boxes will fit in a milk crate. So with some extra space, you can pack other stuff in as well. So they're kind of handy to do shows with. And you just plunk them out on the table. Lots more. And out of the architectural area, 2 showcases. Sorry it's so cluttered again. Like I said, I'm running out of space. But I've got a brown Bakelite foam back here, kind of a rare color. Nice little McKee butter dish there. Got that this summer. Let's see. This is a local artist that did these. This was his first plate. Normally I don't deal in collector plates, but this particular one holds a little bit of value, so I do pick it up when I see it. This plate used to be $2,000 at one time, but not anymore. It's called Phantom of the North by Terry McLean, just a local artist. And he did a series of collector plates, but that's the one that holds the value, being his first one. Anyway, we got a box of albums, box of men's books and such, camera bunch of cameras, bunch of paper stuff all along here. And back to some architectural stuff. And assorted bits and pieces as well. So, yeah. And yeah, more bits and pieces, just general stuff. Again, like I said, because these boxes fit in milk crates, 4 of them, they're handy to have for shows and such, and allows for a quicker setup. So anyway, and an adopt a relative picture. I've got 2 different fellows in that look like that. So you can adopt an ancestor. Yeah, neat 4-gallon water cooler. And the thing you hear now is a train going by. So it shakes the building a little bit because they're just across the street. Lots of doorknobs and such. Again, this is the lamps and architectural that are just cluttering up the space. I really don't like to cover tops of showcases because then the light can't get through, but don't have much choice. You just don't have the space at the moment. This was a cooler that was in the building when I got here, and it was just so heavy I decided not to move it and just use it as a showcase. So yeah, got to get better shelves though. I think I'm going to put glass shelves in there when I can find some. And yeah, catalog collection. Got rid of my catalog collection. This is them plus some added ones since, and some sold ones of course too. I've already gone out of there. The eagle on the wall is probably Black Forest. I like picking up some naive art and such. Naive and folk art, outsider art, a bit of outsider art. Some that I'm not fond of, so I don't generally pick it up. But these are nice and early, 1862 to 1871. The fellow was working. And this is a Regina artist here, Frank Casas, I believe was his name. Yeah, Casas. So, and we got showcases and such here. I got to find a better way to display these, but it's what I've got right now. So, shop is always evolving. There's always something changing. We got a showcase full of. This is a lot of area souvenir china, different small towns and such in Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba and Saskatchewan, that is. I think mostly Manitoba in there though. A little bit of Rowiana, something like that. A little bit there, just some of the scarcer pieces. I've got other stuff in the other part of the store, which we'll be showing you next. So, or almost next, we'll see. And lots there on the Ivorex, which they fell out of popularity, unfortunately. And yeah, lots of stuff. Recent acquisition, a nice relief carved ship there. And lots of Coleman lamps. My Coleman collectors didn't show up this summer. Normally I don't have anywhere near this amount left. I've been buying them up all summer, and my Coleman guys just never showed up, unfortunately. So yeah, which is kind of disappointing. Normally, like I said, I don't have anywhere near this number of Colemans, and I don't post on eBay, so I don't sell them that fast here. So, because locally there's no Coleman collectors, it seems. Lots of people buying for resale and such, but no Coleman collectors themselves. Back to this corner, we've got this great kind of almost tramp art china cabinet, corner cabinet. made of packing crates, which you can see back here. See the advertising. And we'll go on to the next room. And we'll just go, let's see, we'll go this way. I've got a military section here. It's a little bit messy at the moment though. And the showcase I want to get rid of because it's just too big to haul around. Lots of smalls. That's what I deal a lot in, is mainly smalls. So I've got to do a thin out of glassware and such come spring. It's an auction coming up that I'll be putting some glassware in. Scale I just got last weekend. Right there. And the railway section. Got lots of railroadiana here, so probably more than the average dealer. Usually has a couple pieces here and there, but I've got quite a bit. A friend of mine used to excuse me, used to deal in railroadiana, so I got picking up a lot of it. Got to know the values and such, and he passed away a number of years ago, so I don't wholesale it to anybody anymore. I just sell it myself. And we've got vintage clothing, some military and some police. A lot of these hats aren't military, they're actually truck driver and gas station attendant type hats. So lots of vintage clothing, more than I should have probably. And stuff I still need some racks and still need to set up a display, so it's kind of just piled up, unfortunately, but it'll eventually get there. And this is a lot of advertising in Winnipeg smalls in there. Various advertising and patches and such up here. Lots of advertising. Depression glass here in that shelf. Depression and a bit of Carnival. Some Medalta up here. Oh, up there. And a little bit down there. A little bit of Blue Mountain. Unusual Blue Mountain. Some miniatures. Some Bennington, or spongeware rather. Not Bennington sponge. It should be spongeware is what I'm talking about. Toys over there. Might as well get over there and look a little closer. So yeah, got Medalta in here. Medalta's a pottery out of Alberta. There's some medicine hat pottery as well, also out of Alberta, mixed in. A little bit of a couple Medalta lamps there, and a bunch of miniatures from various potteries, lamps from a couple different potteries. There's that spongeware I mentioned, some other stuff, and toys and kid stuff in there. Now, shelf is getting to be a bit of a disaster. It should be spiffied up a little bit, but. And some more. We got a magic lantern there in the corner. That's what that is. So lots of bits and pieces. And I should put these up. These are from Robinson stores for their fashion areas or clothing areas. But they're supposed to be this way. Anyway, yeah, a bit more overflow here. This is just the back of a cabinet. I should paint actually when I feel energetic. And around the corner, got lots of tins, jars, ink bottles, tins. I've got a store scale there, a nice little Dayton. Tobacco tins. We've got a whole whack of Pyrex and Fire King here. Accumulated a lot this year. Sold some of it as well. Of course, that's the name of the game, isn't it? Lots of these jars, these candy jars. I got tons of them right now. That's a triple row back there. So I've got a good dozen of them, maybe more than a dozen actually. Lots of and stoneware down here. Some pop bottles and the like, milkshake mixer, post office boxes. Lots of tins, per usual, in the grocery store section, I guess you could say, or general store section. Lots of stuff. So yeah, got lots of bits and pieces for your collecting needs. So cool glass sign for McBain's Hardware here. That was a hardware store in a neighboring town in Verdun. Had 4 of those at one point. That's the best one. I kept the best one for myself, and that's out of my own collection. I'd sold the other 3 previously. And got these vintage water skis. They're actually now signed by Tom Kelly, who was the Tricks champion, or Canadian Tricks champion from 1962. Cool guy. He's getting on in years now, but nice guy. And lots of calendars and such, advertising calendars, various signs, clock. Try to get back here. More stuff, primitives, and a bit of folk art up top. Whoa, sorry. Bit of folk art up top here, right over here. But some bicycle stuff. Got a bike section for those bicycle collectors. Let's see what else. And got a bunch of shoe displays down here, and where are they? Right there. And clothing displays there. This is kind of cool. This is a spool table. These are all spools, wooden spools all stacked up. And this primitive chair is actually Ukrainian. The mates to it got burnt, unfortunately. Let's see, lots of other stuff over here. We'll get to it in a little bit. This is my automotive section. Lots of new old stock lenses, tons of manuals, lots of John Deere manuals right now. That's what all these are. Yeah, so lots of automotive. This particular shade is out of a Case dealership. Probably one of 2, I suspect, that went on either side of the Case sign. But that's what the black one is. Excuse me, folks. Bit of paper stuff. Got lots of paper stuff stacked up. I need a better way to display it. Excuse me. And yeah, so lots of stuff. Some various bits of glassware, soda fountain type stuff. Try to group stuff together. It tends to help sell it. You may notice at thrift shops and such, like Salvation Army and Value Village and the like, they group kind of colored stuff together. I group stuff in themes so that those collectors will see the stuff, like clocks all together, that sort of thing. So yeah, It's better than having it kind of randomly around the store, although there is some of that randomly around the store. I do have some folk art mixed up with some glassware and such. It's just a matter of space. It's the issue. Tools. I've got to get some pegboard up here at some point. Anyway, tools and such. So we've got lots of that sort of stuff. Stuff's overflowing onto the floor, which I don't particularly like, but it happens. It's just a matter, again, of space. This is a sign I picked several years ago. It was originally a bunch of boards in a wall is all it was. Some were, you could see the letters, some you couldn't because they were face down. And I bought it sight unseen, essentially. I took a risk, gave them a price, and then peeled all the boards off the wall. And turned out it was basically complete. So yeah, and that's about 8 feet long. So yeah, it's a tall sign, or long sign rather. Probably 1890s. Then I do carry some books. I try to stick to stuff that's worth $10, $15, $20, $30 and more. So I do carry some books. So if you're a book dealer, come on by, and I do give bulk discounts, of course, if you're buying bulk. So like I said, I try to stick to stuff that has some value. So although there is other affordable stuff in there as well, $5, $10 stuff, depending upon subject matter. A lot of it's histories and such. Although I think these two shelves are just kind of assorted. There's medical, there's all kinds of farm and related stuff. But most of my books are history. It's all history books. It's Manitoba area history, Saskatchewan, Alberta, BC, etc. Ontario, I think, in there as well. General Canadian history there. So there's a lot of history in there too. And yeah, just general stuff. I just kind of modified this corner recently, so I'm still kind of spiffing it up. But we got more 50s stuff, mid-century modern, some Chinawares, etc. Lots of stuff kind of mixed together. Like I said, I try to do kind of theme shelves and such, but it doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes it's just a matter of where do I have some space. Ignore the condition of the floors. This used to be a factory, a pierogi factory. So this was a manufacturing area behind, kind of a kitchen. And unfortunately, the floors were not in the greatest shape when they took up the equipment. And I couldn't afford to get the whole floors redone in time. Part of it was a time issue. Part of it was not having water. I was going to get them cleaned, but unfortunately the plumbers took their sweet time getting stuff done, and I didn't have water by the time I had the open space to be able to clean the floors, and by that time I had to move stuff in. So it just, yeah, so the floors are stained. They would have been difficult to clean anyway, so, but whatever. All right. More area histories and the like. And we got a little more art in the walls as well. Still got wall space kind of up here, but unfortunately that's just thin paneling, so it doesn't hold nails that well. I need to use a special slanted type wall hanging, or wall picture hanger. Anyway, these are all mainly price guides and reference books for antiques and collectibles. And then posters and the like, which I do have posters in there, believe it or not. But yeah, that's about it for the shop tour, guys. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and check out our other videos on antiquing, picking, thrifting, scrapping, etc. Take care, folks.